Y'all know they booted me all the way out the system. Huh? My ether cords start going boop 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 boop. Let's see if I'm back in or if I'm live somewhere else. Oh boy. Oh, they playing games. They play games. The live that I'm on right now, they have it where I'm not coming in. It doesn't show that I'm live. It doesn't show that I'm live. The one that they blocked me out of is still running. Wow. Wow. Ain't that something? Something there. I got a trick for that. Let me see if I can do something here. Let's see. Said the blind man. Let's see. Said the blind man. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, from here, this channel is showing. All right, so let me do this. Okay, from here, this. All right. Mm, I should wait. Now I feel like waiting. Well, based on my channel and for what I can see from my channel, I'm not showing. But based on going from another channel, it's showing me. Okay. I guess. See, they play it because even with this title, it's all right. It's all right. I'm going to continue live anyway. I'm going to continue showing this information and then I'm going to share it. That's something I normally don't do. I don't normally share. Hmm. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to share it since they want to block me out like that. I'm talking about serious lockout. It wouldn't. uh, why would y'all block little old me? Little old me. So let me go and play what it was I was saying. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to show this polka dot information. All right, so here we go. So you see this document right here. Before I even show y'all the title of the document, I want you to look at this part right here. Public addresses and their corresponding private keys are generated by the custodian in a secret key generation ceremonies at secure locations inside Faraday cages, which are enclosures used to block electromagnetic fields and thus mitigate against attacks. The custodian uses quantum random number generators to generate the public and private key pairs. The public key is your physical form. The private key is your inner, your light code. I'm your private dancer, dancer for money. Do what you want me to do. The private tier is your light code. Once generated, private keys are encrypted, separated into shards, and then further encrypted. Tales of the Crypt. After the key generation ceremony, all materials used to generate private keys, including computers, are destroyed. All key generation ceremonies are performed offline. No party other than the custodian, including the trust itself, has access to the private key shards of the trust. Huh? What? That don't sound like cryptic messages to you? Didn't I tell you everything they put in Federal Register? They using on all forms, the physical. They do in the past, the present, and the future. Huh? They do in the beginning, the middle, and the prophetic. They dealing with the word, the mind, and the soul. And this, just that phrase right there alone matches scripture. You could take this phrase right here and not look at the rest of the document. Everybody in the community could get one word out of a word each and decipher it against all the religions, all of the manuscripts, and everything that exists that tells you about these last and final days. Now, as Trump takes his USD1 to his World Liberty Financial, where he is the trustee for 75%. Well, you might as well say his bloodline, because they're going to act like it ain't him in charge. It's the Baron, Slow Baron. As he go, I saw Elon with a hat on that says Trump was right about everything. It looked like now that it looks like Elon looked like he been fooled and tricked too. That's what it looked like. Let me go on. Do you know what a shard is? A shard ceremony? There's a shard ceremony. And you know what shard ceremony is? It's like a funeral. The shard ceremony in the ways of Prime Minister Modi is like a funeral. And in this document here, representing Trump. Okay, let me back up. Yesterday when I went live, I closed off the live because I got stuck. But when I was talking about the black count, and I learned something new. I learned some things yesterday that I just didn't know. That each of the presidents, they counterpart, whoever their private counterpart is in this realm of the reconstruction, just like we are reconstructed, rehashed, reborn. How many different reconstructions of this earth? The flood, the freeze, the meteor or asteroid destruction, all that, right? So, according to who they say George Washington was some, who they call it, Cananicus or something. All right. But as I look at Trump now, and I look in the scripture, who is Trump supposed to be? Well, he must be Patrick, because he's celebrating the 250th this year. Remember, I told y'all we in the double year when we did the leap year this time, and the earth tilted and all that time got warped. And every time they opened up the portal with that, whatever it is, technology that Elon was doing with the ships, kept breaking the sound barrier and breaking the sonic boom and opening up all these holes over earth. They was letting in different entities and stuff too. So now here you have Trump doing exactly what the scripture said, following it T to T, word for word. And the 250th celebration that's supposed to happen next year, he's celebrating and writing documents about it now. So I definitely want to keep this, which is not going to be hard to find, this document right here. But let me see how far I need to go down. Key generation, because I'm going to come back to key generation. So this document right here, self-regulatory organizations, the stock market, the share of the grayscale polka dot trust. Remember what I said before they blocked me out of the other live that I was just in, that's probably still running, that the beast in Revelation 13, the one that looked like a leopard, that is the monetary system, the commerce system. It's the spiritual form of the commerce system. So here's the polka dot trust. Here's the polka dot trust. But let me show you this document in his rants and honoring old Patrick. Here we go. Let's go. 6 presidential documents. There's the 666. Y'all see the 666 for today? The 666, when he put out his information for the ceremonies of the shard ceremonies, and the changing the keys and getting ready to lock you up under the accepting the mark of the beast. 666 right here. That's the code right there. Oh yeah, I went on and on. Elon Bird, It's right there. And here we go. 250th anniversary of Patrick Henry's "Give Me Liberty or Give Me Death" speech. Why? He's celebrating that this year. The 250th ain't till next year. But his "Give Me Liberty," his corporation that's doing the stable coin, is called World Liberty. We automatically think Statue of Liberty. Give me liberty. He calling for what he want right now. Give me liberty. My organization, over all the organizations that I have that could take, grasp and hold of the federal treasury, the US dollar and all, is called World Liberty. Give me liberty. And then within the document that I just showed you, give me death is part of the shard celebration or shard ceremony. So let me read this document here. Go over this document real quick. Patrick Henry, give me liberty or give me death speech. Our nation proudly commemorates the 250th anniversary of Patrick Henry's address in the Second Virginia Convention, a seminal moment in our great story, American story, and a fateful turning point in America's epic structure or struggle for independence. On March 23rd, 1775, Patrick Henry rose to the pulpit of St. John's Church in Richmond, Virginia, to speak those immortal words that remain etched upon every American heart. Give me liberty or give me death. In the wake of the escalating tensions between the Patriots and the Red Coats, do you know Colorado? The Red Coats, they use the Red Coats as a flogging, but they were against the Redskins. So-called Redskins. The Redskins. The Red Clay. The Patriots and the Redcoats. Henry delivered his stirring address before more than 100 delegates, including George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and many of the statesmen who would go on to sign the Declaration of Independence. Following the bloody Boston Massacre and British Parliament's authoritarian imposition of intolerable acts, which closed the Boston Harbor and stripped New England colonists of their right to self-govern, American leaders deliberated whether to continue their pursuit of peace or, as a final recourse, to take up arms in the rebellion. With British tyranny on the rise, the American confidence in retreat, and the Second Virginia Convention assembled. Patrick Henry, a respected lawyer who had recently served as a delegate to the Continental Congress, arrived at the convention with one goal in mind: to galvanize militiamen into securing our inestimable rights and liberties from those further violations which they are threatened. And what rights were they fighting for? The rights to own slaves. When Alexandra Dumas had already fought against that. The right to tax men and control land and property that didn't belong to them. That's what they were fighting for. Some members cautioned against this decisive action, insisting that peaceful reconciliation was still possible. But as Henry listened, he grew more impatient. A Baptist minister who observed the proceedings later recalled that he had an unearthly fire burning in his eyes. So they want to say it was the Jesus with the eyes of burning fire, huh? Overcome with righteous indignation, Henry rose from his seat with no notes in hand, boldly beseeching his fellow Virginians, if we wish to be free, we must fight. At a moment when America's fate hung in the balance, excuse me, hold on. When America's fate hung in the balance, Henry's words sparked daring action in the souls of patriots, fortified the cause of freedom, and set America on a path to ultimate triumph over forces of tyranny and oppression. By a narrow margin, the Second Virginia Convention passed the resolution to form a militia, the first critical step to independence. It is not now easy to say what we should have done without Patrick, what we should have done without Patrick. Thomas Jefferson later wrote, he was before us all in maintaining the spirit of revolution. As we approach the 250th anniversary of our nation's independence on July 4th, 2026, we look to Patrick Henry, a son of the frontier, the first and sixth governor of Virginia, an unflinching advocate for American independence and a true man of his moment. Today we invoke his courage, we honor his legacy, and we fearlessly summon the spirit. They're summoning the spirit. Now he's doing what Biden was doing. They are summoning the spirit of 1776 to build a future that would be proud to impart on our children. Who trying to live in the spirit of 1776? What did the United States look like in 1776? Where I told y'all are not dealing with flesh and blood. The slavery that they want to invoke in the spirit of 1776 is the slavery of your light code. Like Patrick Henry, the grants of American liberty who came before us, or the giants of American liberty who came before us, now is our time to ring the great bell of American freedom and propel our nation into a new, radiant, golden age. There he is using golden age again, but he's using golden age in the spirit of 1776. Let's see what 1776 looked like. If I could get a view of 1776. It was the French and Indian Wars, the Sugar Act, the Stamp Act. It was about taxes. 1776, the Declaration. Common Sense became a pamphlet. Okay, let me get out of the spirit of 1776 and let's go back to this document. Public addresses and their corresponding private keys are generated by the custodian in a secret key generation ceremony. At a secure location inside Faraday cages. Faraday cages, which are enclosures used to block electromagnetic fields and thus mitigate against attacks. The custodian uses quantum random number generators to generate public and private key pairs. Once generated, private keys are encrypted, separated into shards, and further encrypted after key generation ceremony. Let's look at a shard ceremony. Shraddha or Shroud ceremony. Shraddha in Hinduism is a ceremony performed in honor of a dead ancestor. The rite is both social and religious responsibility enjoined on all male Hindus. The importance given in India to the birth of sons reflects the need to ensure that there will be male descendant to perform the Shraddha ceremony after one's death. So the word for funeral rite is Shraddha. It should not be confused with similar sounding words of faith or belief. The Shraddha rite is performed for the deceased father, grandfather, see if they block me out again. Y'all, they keep blocking me out. They keep blocking me out, y'all. Oh my goodness. You know what? I'm going to let it go. Y'all have the information to go forth with it because they're going to continue to block me because they know where I'm going with it and because of the stuff that I said earlier in my comment section to them. If you have any doubt about these last days, I told y'all where y'all need to go. Greater light. Greater, you know what? I could let them run me off or I could read the scripture. They're not running me off. But I refuse to have to keep restarting because this is letting you know as an individual, those who can hear and can see that what I'm saying is the truth. They don't have a problem letting things that are flamboyantly of benefit to a race to go all across the internet. But anything that is the truth, they will always block. Like they did Jesus. They didn't just block Jesus. They called him crazy. They called him out of his mind several times. They accused him of all kind of crimes that he was not guilty of. They tried to kill him from before the foundations. Before he came, they were looking for him to kill him and stop him and block him before he was even born. He put and sent a message in a light code to remind us that we are related, and that what they did to him, they will attempt to do to us. But we would do greater than what he did. Have you figured out what greater is? Huh? See, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. They lived by the sword, and so they died by the sword. And then they learned to use the word. So they live by the word. Now they will die by the word, because you are the living word. And the word is mightier than any two-edged sword. The word is mightier than the pen. Huh? Greater light. Mm-mm, mm-mm. I don't believe them. I don't believe that. I can't believe they're doing all that.
As you slept, I gave my tears to the sun. As I woke, I faced the night with ancestors adapt. For my seed that traveled, the griffin slept. My tears nurtured her from crib's death. My sprout whose vines grew up the twin towers, sweet water rest. It turned